coming out tight on me and then.
Yeah, my kitchen. 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment of Anchors Away. We've got a few things we want to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about the President's address from the Oval Office, so we'll discuss a little bit of border security. We're going to talk about this day in history that you can find on krk.com, where that comes from and who digs up all that stuff. And then another topic, little hands. Have a little explaining to do there, but we'll get to it. Want to welcome our panel today. Ashley Ketz is here, and Shealyn Kirkman. She is senior producer at KRK and Fox 16. Thanks very much, Shealyn.
I'm so excited to be here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. If you've ever heard anyone with an infectious laugh, Shealyn is the person who has that laugh.
I'm not going to laugh. I won't do it.
Sure. We haven't even said anything. And Ashley, thanks for dressing up.
Well, you know, I have some explaining to do too on the wardrobe, but I'm just glad our favorite resident redhead could join us
today.
Oh,
thank you.
Seriously.
Let's go ahead and get into the heavy stuff right away. The President's address from the Oval Office the other night was kind of like what everyone expected. He was pushing for border security. He wants to get some kind of a barrier set up there. And then reaction to that was kind of what everyone expected from the Democrats, was no money for that. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the government shut down. Shealyn, you know, you deal with a lot of the news that we put on the air. What's your take on that and the feedback that you've seen from it?
Well, I think a lot of times what we're seeing now is feedback happens before he ever says anything. And so it's, when I'm trying to write the news, I'm trying to present it in a very unbiased way, as we're supposed to be as ethical journalists. And sometimes it's hard to drill down and find those actual facts of what's happening because there's so many opinions out there. Well,
and from a you're a news producer, but from a consumer, a news consumer's point of view, is it frustrating? Because I think there's journalists on the local level are much more unbiased than on the national level. So it's got to be frustrating for you.
A lot of people would agree with that.
Oh, it's very frustrating. Luckily here we have a DC bureau and they put out unbiased reports. But when I'm going to the networks, it's hard to find a piece that doesn't have an opinion. Even small stories, just like when a position comes open on the Supreme Court. It's all these opinions on it, and then at the very bottom it says, oh, well, he served here since the 80s and he's going to retire.
Right.
You know?
So it's one of those things. Ashley, yeah, I mean, this is a conversation we have all the time.
Yeah, and you know, I've never been a federal worker. I don't know what these families are going through right now, but I try to put myself in their shoes because a lot of them, you know, maybe aren't getting paychecks right now. There are a lot of things that are, you know, a lot of work that will have to be done when the government reopens. So I try to think about those people too right now. But as far as border security, this is something that what we've been fighting for years. It is nothing new.
No.
This is a new approach and a new solution, but it's not really a new approach, as President Trump pointed out, that this is something that even some Democrats in the past had supported. So we're just waiting now to see if we can find some common ground and compromise. And that's something that, Bob, you've said all along, we've got to compromise.
That's, I mean, and that's the basis of politics. It's both, there are both sides, which is great. It's great to have both sides, if not 3 or 4, but there has to be compromise. We've got to meet in the middle and then move forward. But anyway, moving forward, because one day this will all be history. And there's something on our website, krk.com, that's really neat. I love to check it out. It's called This Day in History. And this is all produced by Shealyn. This is something that she does on top of the million other things that she does here. And you dig up these facts. Do you find them anywhere? Do they come in fall in your lap, or do you just...
Well, luckily we have some great organizations here in the state that have kept up with our history. The Arkansas State Archives is a great tool, and also the Encyclopedia of Arkansas has been also so great. But I've grown up here, and you think you know everything about your state and where you live, but I've learned so much. Even my hometown, today it was incorporated on this day in history in 1851.
Give a shout out to Clinton.
The best town in Arkansas, I think.
Next to Batesville.
Yeah, I was actually born in Batesville.
That's right,
so there we go.
Look, so
we're pretty much family.
Yeah. But I mean, I learned so much about who the town was actually named for. It was named for, they think, DeWitt Clinton, the governor of New York at the time. So. And
that's where I grew up. So look at
it's
all connected. It all comes full circle. And it's one of those things too. You walk in the newsroom and you hear people say, "I didn't know that," and generally they're talking about something that you've come up with. Which is kind of, is there anything that was really surprising? Something that you saw that's like, this is off the wall?
I think one of the most surprising, well, today I didn't know this, but Van Buren County, where Clinton is, it did not have a Confederate regiment. And there were several people there that were against secession, and they were part of the Arkansas Peace Society. And so they joined that, but then they were arrested and brought to Little Rock and forced to fight for the Confederate Army. Who knew?
Interesting. That's deep history.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I'm going to get to this in a second because this is something that came from Christmas. But you guys have a great Christmas? Happy New Year?
It's great.
It was wonderful.
Any great Christmas memory? I've got one from Christmas morning.
Oh gosh.
There's so many that come so quick.
Well, I can't think of just one, Bob.
Shealyn, do you have one? Let's see, I don't want anyone to see what I'm
Family
doing.
time's just always great in general, yeah.
What was neat for me, I woke up and it was one of those things where I was laying in bed and I woke up and I was just looking out the my bedroom door and I saw Karsten peek, in there to see if we were awake and I pretended I wasn't, but I saw her, and then I saw her tiptoe past the door to go look at what Santa had brought. So it was neat. And one thing he brought were the Little Hands game.
Oh my gosh.
This game, it's called, I'm not endorsing anything here. One of you guys to put these on.
Handimonium.
It's called Handimonium.
Oh, you
look like
we
it goes
played
with the
this
shirt
thing.
you're
I'm the
wearing.
special guest.
You are.
We played this
Special
for
guest.
hours. And it's just, this is funny in itself. And then what you have to do,
Oh my gosh.
here.
Oh.
Here.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
This is great.
I know there's that game
you put
that
little hands on.
is about
Okay.
memes, and that's
Here,
pretty
now
fun.
hand this card to Shealyn. She has
Okay.
to, and you have to do the challenge.
Too much. This is
Or
too
the
much.
charade.
Oh my gosh, with your hands.
And it's what, drive a car? All right, so now show us how you would drive a car with little hands. We got to get a good tight shot of it. So you have to,
10 and 2.
Yeah, 10 and 2. We got to
10
be safe.
but if
No
there's a
texting
game
and
out there if
driving.
you're looking for it.
Definitely can't with
Here's another
those.
one. Here's another one. Applying lotion. Let me, see. Be applying lotion to my little hands.
This
Look
is
at
too
Shealyn.
much.
Okay, paddling a canoe. Shealyn, paddle a canoe with your little hands.
You can't even do it.
Is that close?
No, well, I guess something like that.
And then it just
I
gets
think
very
Ashley needs a
awkward.
turn.
It looks
You
awkward.
know, and you gotta,
Buttoning your coat.
the tie. I like the way that one.
Let's see here.
Ashley's gonna give this a try. Okay, let's find one for you.
Oh, okay.
These hands look familiar. I think I saw them in a tweet.
Ashley, yeah. See, I tweeted something out earlier this week, driving. I wasn't driving with them. I was stuck in traffic, and no one noticed they were a little hand until later. They're like,
you-
"Oh my God, you got a little hand in there."
Just a
right.
random little hand.
Ashley, yours is taking a shower.
Oh gosh. I mean, washing my hair. Oh, your face. This is going to be somewhere on the internet, I'm sure.
At any rate, Handimonium. It's a good game. I'm not getting $1 for doing this, but anyway.
That's
Shealyn,
fun.
thanks for joining us.
I'm so glad you
Certainly
asked me.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ashley, we'll get you
We
down.
should do this
we'll Get
again.
you dressed up for the news. Again,
Oh, you
thanks,
didn't tell us your story about why you...
I had a spill. I was eating dinner and I had a little spill, a little honey mustard.
Funny thing is, you usually go home with your jacket
I wear
on.
a jacket because it's so cold in the studio
And then-
that it takes me about an hour to warm up
And then she
afterwards.
goes home and she keeps her jacket on.
It's a bib.
And then she just eats dinner with the jacket on.
And-
She come home with a stain on the jacket. But this time,
I have many stains on the jacket, but
Where was the stain, Bob?
it was, well, the stain was like right there, which is
right
not
there,
right on her
central
shirt,
location.
in
And
this area. Right
so
here.
I'll have a different shirt on tonight.
All right, well, we'll see you later. We'll see you at night at 10. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Anchors Away. Certainly hope you have a great week and a Happy New Year, everyone. See you later.